Misfit Athletics, Mark Bell, Super Training Gym, where you're gonna play 3 ways to get stronger with Mark Bell.
Here we go.
So, one of the biggest things in CrossFit that we're looking for is grip endurance. And you know a little something about grip. So we're looking for a tip, something, maybe a finisher, something somebody can do as accessory work once their training session's done.
Okay. So I'm gonna show you something a little fancy, and then I will show you a way to mimic something like this if you don't have access to these awesome Triad dumbbells by my boy Havoc. Anyway, as you can see, it's got thick handles, right? And so what we would do is we'd grab the thicker handles and we'd progressively work our way to that smaller handle. And so since you asked the question, I'm gonna have you demonstrate.
Yes. All right.
So pick up both of those, and we're gonna walk to the yellow bench and back.
Can he get to the yellow bench?
So just kind of see how many seconds this is taking. It's not gonna take very long. Give the yellow bench a little kick. Boop. There you go. Rubbed his butt on it, even better. Marking his territory. Let's see how he's doing with one lap. How's that feeling?
Terrible.
It's getting to be hard?
Yep.
Okay, switch to the smaller grip. Not the smallest one, but the next one. There we go.
Now, do you recommend thumb over?
Yeah, you got to, whatever you got to do.
So I could hook under like this?
Yeah, well, those are two different, we'll talk about that in a second. So they're two different forms of grip. The key with this is called a farmer's walk, which is the easiest thing in the world to do. You can do this with dumbbells as well. A key element to a farmer's walk when you're doing it for grip purposes is to do it slowly and not get into a panic mode. So let's have you try as well, Seth.
The fat one?
Start with the big fatty.
All right.
He's doing that. I'm going to grab a hold of a secret weapon.
I think I have an unfair advantage over Drew.
Look at that. Okay, so if you don't have access to that, we're lucky because somebody makes a product called Fat Grips, which are not expensive. I do not remember the price of them, but they're inexpensive. It fits over any dumbbell, can fit over any barbell. So what I'm basically getting at is that some thick object training could really be beneficial. Something like this. The way that you incorporate this is you'd simply, at the end of a workout is probably best, because a lot of times your grip is heavily involved in the training that you're doing. So at the end of a training session as a finisher, you want to work on distance and not necessarily just on weight. So you'd want to work on moving a certain weight a further distance, because that would be a longer duration that will work your grip more. Once that is achieved, once you've, I don't know, say go on 200 feet with 50 pounds with a thick handle, then you would work your way towards just using more weight for a similar duration. But having that duration is key, because you want some fatigue to settle in. And what happens with the fatigue is that you start to try to squeeze harder and harder, and you're squeezing harder and harder and it's still slipping out of your hands. But if the weight's too heavy, you can't really get in the amount of work that you really need. Other object that we have is this bad boy here. Again, fairly inexpensive. It's called a Rolling Thunder. Google it, you can look it up. That's actually what it's called. That's a pretty cool name. So you grab the handle here like this. Now there's two different ways of doing this. You can scoop under with a thumbless grip, or you can go over top by using your actual thumb. And you can also kind of curl your hand in this way, which is a lot of arm wrestlers do that because it's for their sport. But you can also just kind of roll it away, and then you have to really try to squeeze the hell out of it with your thumb. It's easier to scoop it and hold it this way, but this is going to work your forearms a little bit more. This way here with your thumb on is going to actually work your hand a little bit more. So it just looks a little bit like this. You want to get over top of it. All the same rules still apply. We need to get a neutral spine And we're not just gonna pick it up like we're an idiot. We're gonna go like that, hold it for a few, maybe pick it up a couple times, and then switch. And you'll find out which hand is weaker really quickly. Give it a shot.
That's my max deadlift, so I'll tell you what.
He's got it. There you go.
Wow.
It's heavy and it's difficult, but it's, you know, it's not impossible.
But of course, if somebody wasn't that strong, they could just use this weight and get similar stimulus. So the principle's still.
Yeah. If you have a real glaring weakness in your grip, then you would just want to use a little bit lighter weight.
Let's see if I can embarrass myself here.
Nah, you'll get it. Good.
Old lefty's pretty weak compared to right hand. I don't know why that is, but.
Hey now.
Hey.
So other ways to incorporate some grip stuff. Again, using something like those fat grips. Why not take those fat grips and put them on a pull-up bar? If you don't want to buy anything, throw some tape around something. Figure out a way to make stuff thicker and make stuff a little bit wider, and it's going to be a little bit more challenging with your grip. Something really useful is just to hold deadlifts at the top for multiple seconds. Maybe you hold all your deadlifts, you just kind of make a pact with yourself, you can hold all your deadlifts at the top for 5 seconds. Just holding those weights statically can be of benefit. Whenever you're doing something like a pull-up or something like that, maybe at the end you just kind of hang for multiple for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, holding yourself on anything or holding yourself up. All those things are going to be great for you.
Awesome. If an athlete was to come here and say, I'm a CrossFitter, my numbers and this and this are fine, but low back fatigue is a huge issue, what sort of accessory exercises could they throw in?